In this tutorial, you will see how to build custom fields and assign them to a plan. A custom assumption is a user-defined value that can be used in a plan for an already existing field. You can access these assumptions using the custom input fields. A custom field is the data field in which you can enter a custom assumption value. A custom field will appear on a separate section of the screen labeled Custom Fields below the ClearTrial default assumptions. You access the list of custom fields from the Maintain menu. You can only make changes to the draft model. Once the draft has all the necessary changes, the set of custom fields within it can be published or released to be used by other users. Only a custom field designer can assign a custom field model to a plan. Checkout reserves the draft model so that changes can be made to it. Check-in commits any changes made during a checkout session. Publish creates a new custom field model version that consists of the custom fields that existed in the draft model at the time of publishing. This also releases the model version to be used in plans. Select the draft version and click Checkout. In this example, you are going to create a new field. The name will be used for programming and must be a valid JavaScript variable name. The label is the value that will be displayed and should be concise. The field can have a numerical value or can be calculated based on a formula. The unit of measure must be unique. The display criteria control on which tabs the custom field will appear on the plan, the minimum edit mode, and the type of plan by phase, therapeutic area, and indication, where the custom field will be applied. In this example, only users who can use Expert Edit mode will be able to see the custom field or make changes to it. Click Save to save your changes. And click Close to return to the previous screen. If you have completed your changes, you can click Publish. Enter a description for the custom field model version and click Publish. The custom field model version can now be applied to a plan or a template. Use the Edit menu to return to the Plan screen. Select a plan that you wish to use the new model with. And from the Other Actions menu, click Change Attributes. Use the drop-down to select the newly created custom field model version. Click Save or Save and Close to update the plan. Open the plan to see the newly created custom field. As the current edit mode is advanced, the field is not visible. Change the edit mode to Expert. The custom field section appears below the ClearTrial default assumptions. To learn more, see the documentation on the Oracle Help Center.